Welcome on in, everybody. NY2MD podcast. Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrard.
Woo.
What's going on, B?
Oh man, I think I'm fully recovered now, Hurt. I think I'm fully recovered, man.
Listen, I'm sure it's gonna take some time. It was a long, late, exciting, crazy overtime. Nearly all overtime.
Dude, I totally forgot I forgot I went to overtime. Good Lord.
Yeah, I didn't, because I was like, I'm staying up for this thing. Eventually, I think I laid down finally to go to sleep, and it hopped up on my phone because I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
No,
I'm like, I really wish I missed these 7 o'clock doubleheaders. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I missed having this 7 to 10 game, man.
I'm really curious to know why they got away from that, because I missed that, dude.
Well, the doubleheader, I don't know why they just aren't doing doubleheader. Yeah, I mean, I kind of get why they don't do a game at 7, but because it's 4 o'clock on, in the West Coast, it's just not, feasible for them. And they want them, and they want the bigger rating. So the bigger rating happen later. Go ahead.
Yeah, but so what they should have did, instead of having that lame Manning Brothers Zoom meeting broadcast, they should have had the double hitter broadcast with the main squad at the Ravens game, and you could have had Peyton and Eli do the first game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Peyton and Eli with an actual professional broadcaster with.
Yeah, what right?
But since I don't know. I guess the NFL decided not to do it though.
Yeah, that's weird.
Decision.
That's weird.
Yeah,
but in their defense, it actually paid off, and I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah. So everybody, welcome NYMD podcast. Kevin Hurt, Brian Sherrard. Of course, we're here on StreamYard and on YouTube. You can subscribe to us, NYMD podcast. Give us a like, give us a comment. We appreciate it all. And of course, we're on the IG, Facebook, and the Twitter.
Yeah.
We've been tweeting out all week, and of course, we'll be tweeting out today because, it's NFL Sunday. And, of course, it's Premier League Sunday as well, and Saturday. Today is Premier League Sunday. Even though Arsenal played yesterday, so I'm happy about that. So
okay, I was about to say, I see you got on your Arsenal shirt. So
yeah, we won yesterday. We got 2 wins in a row, so just trying to get the good luck rolling. And, of course, you can find us on Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Anywhere you find podcasts, you will find NYMD podcast. So, but we got to start off with college football, mines.
Well, real quick, who's coaching Arsenal this year? Ted Lasso?
It's funny. I don't have Apple TV. I don't know if you can get it. I don't know if it costs money because there's too many things that I'm buying recently. But people love Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I love the commercials he was doing first. So I really want to find some Ted Lasso stuff because I know it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I actually just did watch season 1 of it, and it was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. I'm sure.
It was pretty good.
That dude, the way he goes about it, and just the whole different cultures, and it's just, oh my God, I can't. Yeah, I really do want to watch it. But every day or every time a new episode comes out on the Arsenal fan page, somebody's always talking about, oh my God, watch Ted Lasso this week or whatever. So yeah, there's always that. So people do love the show.
Yeah.
So after Arsenal's 10 o'clock game, after our 1-0 win over Burnley, 2 of my college teams took the field yesterday. Of course, I'm talking about Florida State and Towson.
Oh.
And they both played really good games for the other team. So both teams gave up the same amount of points, which is crazy. And both teams almost scored the same amount of points. But they both had something in common because they both lost, and they lost bad.
All right, so how many points did they give up?
They both gave up 35.
Ugh.
Towson scored 7 and Florida State scored 14.
Oh my God! Wait, who was Florida State playing?
Wake freaking Forest.
Are you get? Oh shoot, yo, who's the coach of Florida State, yo?
Hopefully is. Listen, let me say this without sounding really, really mean. Even though they have guaranteed contracts, I'm sure he'll be okay. Hopefully, it's one of those things like to be determined, but it's currently Mike Norvell. But this is his going into his second year. He had last year. Last year was weird. It was COVID. It was a whole bunch of crazy stuff his first season, right?
Oh my
So
God.
I can't hold that. Like last season, Penn State lost all their games in COVID land. It was weird because kids opted out. You know what I mean? So it was just some weird stuff. So this year, more of a full season. It's our first 0-3 start since guess the year.
It's funny. I was just about to ask you this question. I'm going to say since 1989.
No, that would be it. That first of all, that's Bobby Bowden was still coaching. So
Okay. All right.
that's the worst answer you ever gave to any question I ever asked.
All right.
So you gotta go back. Remember, we finished 14 years in the top 5, so that doesn't make sense. So keep going back.
All right. I'll say 1977.
Close, but you're not thinking hard enough because it happens to be the year we were born.
Darn it.
That's our first 0-3 start since 1976, which coincidentally was Bobby Bowden's first year.
Wow.
0-3.
Yo, losing 35-14 to Wake Forest is unacceptable, man.
Dude, remember we lost 30-0 at home years ago. So, this is where we are. I go into this game knowing it's going to be an L. I didn't expect us to win. I look at our schedule. I'm thinking maybe 2 wins. Maybe if we're lucky and the other team decides all of a sudden Deion Sanders is out there, or Brad Johnson's out there, or Jameis is out there, or Charlie Ward's playing and they just fall all over themselves, then maybe we might get 3 wins. But we're not good at all. So I'm not shocked.
So seriously, like, what's going on? What's the problem? This is so crazy to me.
It's everything. It's almost like what Arsenal is, which is crazy. I feel like they're going through the same thing. There's a coach that is a legendary coach who's been there too long, right? Who kind of you start towards the end that they weren't doing the same thing. You have to replace this person. They're legendary. You wouldn't be who you are without these people. But they both had to go. And the thing is, the next guy who comes after the legend is always going to be the hardest guy. So, and both those guys failed. And then the guy after the guy is still going to be difficult because you're trying to get your whole philosophy in 6-3. I'm sure Miami will score more than 6 points, believe me. But it's sad. It's sad. It's almost like we're rebuilding, and he's trying to put in his system, but it's not working. Again, I know I can't fault last year for anybody. It was a weird year. Like I said, Penn State didn't win a game in COVID land, and then this year they're selling out, and they got whiteouts and playing Auburn at home, so they're back to their normal Penn State self. And we're, the 15th best team in the state. So it's again, but honestly, I look at the schedule. We ain't winning. We're not winning. So what happens is, and this happened to some of the big universities, but a lot of them bounce back a little bit quicker, is they can go someplace else. All of my Florida schools were the biggest schools to go to. You wake up, kids like, I got a scholarship to go to Florida State, Miami. I live near Miami, I go to Miami. I can go to this. Now kids are just like, man, I can go to the NFL. I'll just go to Alabama. I can sit on the bench a year. I ain't going to lose. I can win a national championship, sit behind somebody. Maybe if I'm good enough, I can play a little bit. And then win a championship and go on and play in the NFL. Why am I going to Florida State? Because to build something that's gone, that's not acceptable. So yeah,
that's crazy. All right, so
we've fallen and we can't get up.
Now, what about Towson? Who did they play over the weekend?
We played the Bison.
Oh,
it was our championship rematch against North Dakota State, and they treated us like it was a championship rematch. I know it was a pretty big house yesterday at Johnny U Stadium. Had the Bison come in there, but the Bison mean business. We're good, but we're not there. And they came in and treated us like they should.
Okay.
So now I wasn't surprised by that outcome either.
Now, conversely, your team's 0-3. My team is 3-0.
Tell me your thoughts. You beat the Lana.
Ooh, dude, I was so frustrated at that game. I turned it off.
You're actually watching it, which is that by itself is shocking.
What, did I watch the Maryland football game?
Yeah.
I watch Maryland football.
How often?
As long as it's on TV, I'll watch it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And they were on a Friday night. They were in Illinois. I believe they were heavy favorites, but they barely won. I mean, they won on the last second field goal. They were pushing the ball. It was times during the game where they couldn't run, where they couldn't push the ball, but it was times where they could really move it. But they had fumbles on 2 consecutive plays. Illinois took the lead. I mean, it was, I don't know. But Maryland, I will say, they've been playing really good this year. Their defense has been playing a lot better.
Yeah.
Tagovailoa has been playing well. I don't think he's thrown an interception yet this year. He's throwing around 200, 300 yards a game. Well, maybe not that much, but he's having a decent season.
Put like this. Your team should be 4-0 going into the Iowa game. And that's when the big tests start coming in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's after that, it's Iowa, Ohio State, Soda, Indiana, which still has a good team, Penn State, which you haven't beaten since 1976, probably. Michigan State, Michigan, and Rutgers. So
is that Michigan game at Maryland?
That Michigan game is at Maryland. Yeah.
I want to win that. I want to win that game very badly. I want us to win that. I think we're going to beat Michigan this year in our building.
So once you beat Kent next week, Kent State. That Iowa's a home game though, but it's still going to be tough.
Yeah, that's Iowa, man. I don't think we're going to beat Iowa, honestly. I mean, we can. That's a home game.
It's a home game.
That's going to be tough though, man.
Yeah, but it's a Friday night game.
I don't like Friday. I really don't.
I don't have Friday night games. I have a lot of Friday night games.
I don't like Friday night games, man. What do you like? Do you like Friday nights?
No, I mean, I'm a Thursday, Saturday person. Like Fridays is weird.
Yeah, Friday's weird.
Because I don't remember it's on. Like I'm not going to pay attention to it. But like, wait, football's on. So, but listen, they beat West Virginia, who recently upset the Hokies yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Of course you should beat Howard, which you did, and and Illinois is a tricky game. It's not an easy game. So coming out navigating 3-0 is good, and you should handle Kent State for a 4-0 start, and then head into that Iowa game at home with some confidence.
If we could beat Iowa, man, that would be great.
Oh, that would be huge. That would be huge if you guys can beat Iowa.
I'm still a little worried about. I feel like Mike Lockley is getting us to recruits. I just want to make. I just hope this guy's a good coach, man.
I mean, so far so good.
Yeah, I'm seeing some things I like, but I don't know. I just hope he's a good coach. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, right. At least you won a game this year. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're 3-0, so I'm not gonna complain too much.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't, because some teams lose to Jacksonville State. So yes, no need to complain.
Oh man. All right.
And losing to the smallest team in a Power 5 conference in Wake Forest. All right. So, the weekend in football was some upsets. There's some good games. It was some really good games. A lot of close games. Alabama had a close game playing on the road at the Swamp. That was a close game, but they eked out a win over Florida. And make sure you tell your mom about that one. Oklahoma surviving Nebraska is their 50th anniversary of the greatest game ever played, as they call it. Because now they're in two different conferences, so they don't play each other yearly. But that was a close game. With OU sneaking out with a win in that one. It was a bunch of crazy games this week. But that's college football. Coastal Carolina snuck out with a victory against Buffalo. Our Coastal Carolinas, I call it, because they're at Myrtle Beach's own Coastal Carolina. Clemson had a goal line stand to beat Georgia Tech.
Whoa.
14-8.
Oof.
They had to stop them at the goal line to win that game. This is what kind of season we're going to have.
Wow.
I feel like it's going to be wide open. Anybody could get beat at any time.
So, who's like first place right now in the ACC? Like, who's the top team? Is it Clemson?
Well, it's Clemson.
Didn't they lose? Did they lose their first game, or did they barely win? Or
no, they lost to. What did Clemson lose to? I don't know. I don't think that was an ACC game that they lost though. Hold on 1 second. They lost to Georgia in their first game. Georgia. That was 10-3.
Okay.
So they beat NC State, Georgia. NC State's gonna be tricky. They have NC State, then Boston College, Syracuse, Pitt, State University of Florida, Louisville, Connecticut. Connecticut, they should win by 1,000. Wake, and they finish, of course, at South Carolina. So it's still them until someone decides to wake up and win. But that their division is, the divisions are always good, but they're soft. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But yeah, they're still the top team in the ACC. And they don't play Virginia Tech, they don't play Miami, they don't play North Carolina, they don't play any of the top teams in the Coastal Division this year. So their schedule the rest of the year is basically pretty easy if they can get by NC State.
Okay. Well, any other notable things happening in college football yesterday?
Last night with a sellout, they had a whiteout. They're 13th in their history. Beat Auburn. Auburn visited there for the first time. That was a big win. UCLA, who started the season off hot, who beat LSU. I think LSU was talking trash because that's what LSU does. Lost at home to Fresno State in an upset, 40-37. So that knocked them down a little bit. So those were probably the biggest games of the weekend. I don't think I'm missing too many other games, but it was just some good football. I mean, I don't know what happened in that North Carolina Virginia game, but it was a 59-39 score. I don't know. I don't know if it was a basketball game. I don't know what was going on, but I guess UVA would have won the basketball game. But yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, that's basically it. It was a lot of good football. It was just a lot of games on, so it was fun to watch. Except for my team, of course. So my teams, I should say, both giving up a combined 70 points.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah, but it's good. It was a good college football day. Most of the top 10, Cincinnati fought hard to beat Indiana. Ohio State won against Tulsa. Notre Dame beat Purdue. Iowa State beat UNLV. Like I said, the Hokies were upset by West Virginia. And they were talking trash to them. Even though if I was West Virginia, I don't know how I would feel because nobody wants you. They're like, I know they're part of the Big 12, but when they're talking about divvying up and teams leaving, no one would want West Virginia. So, which is understandable. So, yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and I almost forgot. Michigan State went on the road and beat a Miami team 38-17. They blew them out.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they got blown away. So yesterday was probably it happened way more often than it used to. That all three Florida teams lost on the same day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So only Florida put up a fight. So I'll give them that. And they played Alabama, but the rest of us hot garbage. So that is the football report. Football report.
Okay.
Gotta have some better music for that. He said we are garbage. Hey, listen, I know, but that Miami Florida State game is going to be hot, steaming pile of garbage that you guys are going to win. So, anyway, come on, what's next? What we got?
All right, man.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. Getting depressed.
You ready to get into the NFL? Anything else?
NFL, brother.
Jonathan, anything? Oh, USC.
Oh, firing their coach.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So they fired their coach, Helton. They have an interim head coach now. USC, after losing Pete Carroll to the NFL, haven't really been the same type of team. Their team, like Alabama, who has a brand, they need to hire a coach that has a big name and that can coach. So they either need to go after the best college coaches out there, not named Nick Saban or Dabo Swinney, and go after an NFL coach or somebody who either has ties to that area or knows people in that area to bring that school back. So I think that's what they're searching for. So they're probably going to go to a season as with an interim head coach. After the season's over, they're going to really try to find somebody that can, because they're in Los Angeles. Urban Meyer. Well,
I was just about to say that's been the.
Don't make me not like USC. Like that would make me not like USC. But let him stay in his Jacksonville, please, so they can finish the first 0-17 team in history. Anyway, but still, but yeah, USC is that's what they're searching for, and we'll see who they get. I mean, they have a lot of famous alumni, like Florida State does, because everybody at Florida State wants, or your boy Booger. By the way, Booger McFarland should be doing college football because he's better at that than NFL. He's garbage. Okay. I think because he has like that SEC, feel to it. Like Tebow. Like Tebow can't do an NFL game. Tebow is good going to these college towns because he's Tebow. And I think Booger's the same way. Like keep him out of NFL, even though he's a way better pro than Tebow was, but still. And to that fan who had an 85 Jacksonville jersey with Tebow's name on it, shame on you. Okay?
On, really?
Shame on you. Why would you spend money on something like that? Tebow 85 Jacksonville Jaguars. What is wrong with you? It's like me having a Tebow Cyclones jersey from the Mets minor league team. Stop. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
It's upsetting.
All right, man.
NFL, man.
Yeah, let's get to this NFL, man. So we finally had football, man. Football finally started after a long summer, after a long hiatus. Football finally got back on track. How did it feel watching football last week, man?
Oh man, the Red Zone channel was lit. It was like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Just like, it's like he started off and, this is the first time we could say it all year. And Scott Hansen came out and bam, I'm just like, it's like, it's Candyland. It's so, it felt so good to watch all those games and to see teams play and rack up fantasy points and just how we look at Sundays. Playing. I even got I won $1.50 in DraftKings, so I was happy about that.
Oh, okay, that's good. Well, yeah. My fantasy team sucked last week. So yeah.
But looking at those games, it was funny because I think like at this part of the season, I was excited to see everybody because there's a lot of new faces and new places. So just seeing how they would fit, how your boy fit in LA, how Carson Wentz would fit in Indy, or how Goff would do in Detroit, how Buffalo with expectations, how they would play, how Miami would come because they have expectations, how McDougal would be playing in his first NFL start. It's Cleveland, Cincinnati, your team, my team, Arizona, Minnesota. It was just like, it was cool to see all that, I guess. I was just excited. It was pretty cool. So I haven't been this excited in a long time, not because of my team, but just for some reason I missed football with fans. I think I missed that, and just seeing all the fans back, it was just cool. And like I said, seeing the unveiling of the Death Star on Monday Night Football,
dude, that was hilarious, yo.
It's like the Death Star. That's where they're going with that, huh?
Welcome to the Death Star.
So, but yeah, but it was fun, man. That 1 o'clock was like, it was like opening up a gift. It was opening up a gift.
Yeah.
So, it's like the first college game day for me. Like when college game day first starts, and it's just like the song comes on and this crowd is going crazy. I love it.
Yeah, man, it was good. It was good having football back, man. But it wasn't good having to wait all day, 2 days for my team to play. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was a good week. I want to know what some of your surprises were. I think the biggest surprise for me last week was Houston killing Jacksonville.
First of all, I mean, it was. I know. I think did I pick Jacksonville? I might have. They looked well. I mean, it's Tyrod Taylor, and this is probably his 2 or 3 games before he gets hurt, probably. Which I hope he doesn't. But this would normally happen somehow, and then he loses his job, and then whatever. I was shocked because they put that many points on it. I wasn't too shocked that they won because Jacksonville's not a prepared team yet either. You know what I mean? But that score, that 37 points, was like, whoa, what just happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
I think the game that got me the most was the Cardinals. The Cardinals going into Tennessee and crushing Tennessee.
Okay.
I mean, they went in there, they put up a 38 burger on them, and did what they came to do. You know, you got Mr. 101 back there doing throwing to everybody on the field, and what was that Tennessee running back?
Derrick Henry.
Thank you, Derrick Henry. Not doing anything. He did not have a good game. So I think that was shocking.
Okay. Yeah, that was.
I was wrong. I'm sorry. That was right, but wrong. Green Bay getting killed. Yes.
Green
Bay not losing, but getting killed in Jacksonville, by the way.
Yeah. You were totally wrong on that one. I totally misread that game, man.
The world misread that game. You know how many people lost money on that game? Or how many people lost their survivor pools because of that game? Yeah. I mean, and Jameis didn't throw for a lot of yards. I don't know what was going on. I didn't see the game because, you know, everything from his red zone. I just kept looking at the score like, what is going on? Like, that whole team didn't play well. Aaron sucked. Aaron Jones sucked. The defense sucked. Everybody named was bad. I don't think Aaron Neville was at the game. He was doing horrible. So, Aaron, except for Aaron Donald, I guess. But it was not. That was not.
Dude, that was
38.
I don't know.
You lose 38-3. But we'll see if they bounce back this week.
Was that the
worst? That was the most. That was number one. Then the Cardinals game's number 2.
Yeah,
for me.
Well, yeah, for me it was Jacksonville. It was Jacksonville for me. Let's see any other. I thought the Chiefs Cleveland game was pretty good. I thought that was good. The Dolphins pulled out the win in New England.
Yeah, darn right. After everybody wanted McDougal to come out with his first W, he ain't getting on the Dolphins. Dolphins mean business.
Yeah,
and your boy Matthew looking good out there in LA in his first game.
Yeah, Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford had a nice game. Had a really nice game. So he's gonna have a good year. So,
but I was talking to. I'm getting to your game real quick right now.
Good. Okay.
I was talking to my father, who's a Raiders fan. So he was all happy. But that game, again, I don't remember the last time I think I watched a full Ravens game was when we went to one.
Okay. Wow.
I do not watch
years ago.
I think with Kirk Cousins leading us down the field and us dancing in front of Ray Lewis's statue. I think that might have been the last game.
That was 2012.
Yeah, I might have watched because I can't. I'm not an AFC football fan. Even though this year's, you know how they start switching channels sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I was brainwashed to be a Fox NFC guy as opposed to a CBS AFC person. That's because that's how it used to be. And CBS is just their music was different. The graphics were just like boring. Like it was just, and the stadiums were weird. Like I said, you showing Oakland on TV, they're playing in a baseball stadium. There's no baseball stadiums in the NFC. We play in actual football. So what is this garbage? So it was, but now they kind of switch things back and forth, but also just watch Red Zone and everything comes across perfect. So
yeah.
But this game was different. It was a home game for the Raiders, opening their new stadium for their first football game there at the Death Star. It was and these are two teams I don't like. I mean, literally do not like either team. Not even a little bit. And man, I could not take my eyes off this game. I don't know what else was going on in the world at the time, but I was fixated on this game. It was so good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
And as my father says, like, this is the game of the year, and I was like, well, it's the first week, so let's just take it easy. Dude, it was good. I know you guys end up losing, but man, it was a really good game.
Yeah. Oh man, I just seeing all the flaws of my team and knowing that we were kind of disjointed going into the game because of the injuries and we sustained more injuries and we couldn't stop the Raiders on defense with 33 seconds left in the game. They kick a game time field goal, goes to overtime. Lamar fumbles the ball. Oh man, but the game just goes to show me just how good Lamar Jackson is, man, because good Lord, man. He's the reason why they were even in that game. And he was getting harassed the whole game. So, thank goodness for my quarterback. I just hope my offensive line doesn't get this guy killed before the season's over. But I don't know, man. I just feel like this isn't the year for the Ravens. We have so many injuries. Then we got more injuries going into this Chiefs game. It's just not our year, man. And I've accepted that, but it just sucks because I feel like the Ravens really constructed a really nice roster, but it's just being decimated by injuries right now, and it sucks. But like you said, it was a great game. And it really must have been good because not only did you watch it, Herb, but 15 million other people watched it as well. And it was the highest rated Monday Night Football game in years. I forget what year it beat, but it was, the ratings were off the charts. I think a lot of that did have to do with Lamar Jackson, honestly, and the fact that the game was just, as it kept going, it was just really, really good.
Well, yeah, and also just everybody loves pomp and circumstance. A team, especially a team like is opening up their new stadium, like any new stadium feel, like even, dude, I'm not good with stadium names. Okay, I know Gillette because it's named after a brand. A FedEx Field, of course. M&T because I live here, and a SoFi because I swear I hear SoFi every week. And it's like SoFi. So it's in my head, but I can't tell you any, but I will remember the Death Star, okay? Like every time I see this thing, it's the Death Star. I can't tell you the names I don't know what Denver's is. I don't know what, the Jets, Giants, they play somewhere. Heinz Field, obviously, because you hear it all the time. I don't know it's still Soldier Field for Chicago. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I will remember the Death Star. So I think
it's called Allegiant Stadium, by the way.
So okay, the Death Star. So just going into this, and it's two really storied franchises. The Raiders are a storied franchise, and they're opening up a new chapter. They're in freaking Vegas. This renegade team with the son of this renegade owner has a team in freaking Vegas, man.
Yeah.
Like, what? So I think that and the matchup is just a good matchup. And who doesn't want to see Lamar?
Right.
So just all that, and it's just it was, dude. If Washington's on Monday night game, I ain't watching it. So I was sitting there watching this game, and I was excited. Watching this game was going back and forth. That's not how I usually roll, but man, that was a good game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens this week, man. Well, let's talk about your game. The Washington football team, they've already had their week 2 matchup, and they pulled it out, man, I guess it was a last-minute field goal.
It was a field goal at the end of time, but we got to start off with week 1. So we got to start with week 1 where we lost our starting quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
In our law, I really feel like we should have beaten the Chargers. LA was doing well, but we really should have beat the Chargers in that game. Our defense didn't really show up in that game, even though it was only 20-17. But I really feel like the momentum for the team was taken out after Fitzpatrick was hurt, and he's out on IR for 8 weeks with a hip injury. And my boy Tyler Heinicke came into the game, but I just think it was a little bit too much, and we end up some turnovers. We fumbled at a wrong time, and they end up just running the clock out on us. But we should be 2-0. We should be 2-0 or 0-2. It's the way we play, because we should have lost that game against the Giants, and we won that game. So it's and by the way, Graham Gano gave 22 fantasy points for a kicker on Thursday, and someone dropped him in a league. I don't know who that was that dropped Graham Gano in one of our fantasy leagues.
Wow, Dan.
But, you dropping the Seminole, obviously he performed better because he didn't want to be in your team. Anyway, so we beat the Giants. Tyler Heinicke had a great game. Our defense was a little bit better. Danny Dimes was 4-0 against us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was 4-0 against us. Danny Dimes. By the way, Danny Dimes was 4-0 against us and 4-16 for the rest of the NFL. So half his wins were against us. So we beat him for the first time. Saquon had an okay game. He has a couple bursts of speed runs in there as well, but it was a good game. It was a good NFC East game, and we ended up winning. So we're 1-1, and of course we have that long half week off.
Okay.
So, but last week it was a good week all in all. I'm glad we won that game, and this week, man, we still have some really good match. It's so funny when you look at the matchups this week. I really feel like I could just stop and watch every game due to a storyline.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to go through the games real quick?
Yeah, so let's talk about these week 2 matchups.
Do you have them in any order?
I don't have them in any particular order, so I'm just gonna go.
Let me start off real quick. I'm just gonna start off with one. I could care less about these two teams. New England against the Jets is the first game on my list, but it's the rookies. I want to see how the rookies do.
Yeah.
That's just, it's a 1:00 game. It's at MetLife. I would not watch this game any other day of the week. Any other day of the week, I wouldn't watch this game. If it was the only game on Tuesday, I wouldn't want to watch it. But it has a storyline to it, so I definitely want to watch it. I have New England winning that game.
Yeah, same here. I think New England's going to take that game.
Yeah. Denver, Jacksonville storylines. Teddy looked pretty good in his W with Denver. Jacksonville again, the rookie, they got blown out. They're at home this week, but they got blown out. You still got Trevor Lawrence, the rookie, Urban Meyer trying to get his first win. It's still a storyline there, so that's exciting. But I have Denver winning that game.
Same here. Got to go with the Broncos.
Yep. San Francisco at Philadelphia. Both teams are 1-0. Jalen Hurts had a really strong game last week. Garoppolo and Trey Lance. Lance came in through his first pass was a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they're kind of intertwining them a little bit. That's exciting. I could care less about San Francisco. Actually, I grew up not liking them. because we had a rivalry in the 80s. But of course, I know I don't like Philadelphia. They're playing at home this game. I'm going with San Francisco.
I'm going with the home team.
Okay. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, you can't knock that. But yeah, I'm going for San Francisco only because I want them.
Okay.
But yeah, I hope Jalen Hurts has a good game though. But I hope San Francisco comes out with that W. LA on the road against Indy. The Rams with their new quarterback against Indy and their new quarterback. Again, it's a storyline. How's he going to do in the second game? They're going on the road playing in Lucas Oil Stadium. I got LA winning the second game.
Yeah, the way the Colts performed last week against Seattle, it was bad. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
It's back-to-back NFC West teams for them, so it's going to be tough. But I had the Rams. A game here, which is both two teams from one AFC North and one NFC North. We got Cincinnati, a surprising 1-0 Cincinnati, traveling to Chicago, where they're already calling for Justin Fields.
Oh, we're going to see him really soon. My prediction,
definitely going to see him really soon.
We will see. You heard it here first. We'll see Justin Fields debut Week 4 against the Detroit Lions.
Oh, there we go. Okay, calling your shot, and you know what? I believe in it too. Cincinnati, Jamar Chase not dropping any passes in real life. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah. So
did you see the LSU tweet?
Yeah, I did. I mean, look, the Bayou Bengals got their real Bengals out there playing well. So they're going into Chicago, and I think Cincinnati's going to win this game.
I'm taking the Bears.
Okay. Yeah, I just think Cincinnati's going to be. I don't know. I don't believe in the Bears, but they have to make that transition. I'm not a Redwater Pistol dude. I don't believe in him. I just think it's going to be a close game. I think Cincy wins on the field.
All right.
So we have the 1-0 Carolina Panthers hosting the 1-0 New Orleans Saints. Jameis, my boy Jameis, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. As we call it, was an efficient game for him. Didn't really throw a ton of yards. Didn't really have to throw a lot. I don't know what happened in that game, but they came out with that win, going on the road against Carolina. Who you got?
I'm taking the Carolina Panthers to start off the season 2-0.
Yeah, I think McCaffrey's going to be hard to stop. I'm picking the Saints because why? Why not? Might as well go. Well, I need one Florida State somebody to do well somewhere. So I'm definitely picking New Orleans to win. Again, another close game there at Carolina. And maybe I just don't believe in Carolina's quarterback. That could be the case. Another 1:00 game. We have the Las Vegas Raiders traveling on the road against the 1-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. This game is near and dear to your heart. So who do you got winning this one?
So I had the Steelers winning this one, but it's going to be close. Historically, I think the Raiders give the Steelers a hard time when they have to go and play at Pittsburgh. So I do think it's going to be a close game. But I'm gonna call because the Steelers at home. I think they're gonna pull it out in the end.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh winning at home. It's a little bit different when you have your fans and everybody there, and you're all jacked up and ready to go. Traveling to Pittsburgh is, it's not really cross country, but it's close enough. And them playing at home is going to help them win this game. I just think. Hey, look, they had an impressive win last week against Buffalo. I think they're going to go ahead and have a really good win here against Vegas Raiders. At home, Pittsburgh as well. Miami, 1-0 Miami, leading their division, the only team in their division with a win.
Wow, didn't realize that.
Facing the defending AFC East champ Buffalo Bills at home. I'm partial to Miami due to having the best tailgate in the history of existence of life. I just cannot see Buffalo starting off 0-2. I can't. I feel like it's going to be a good game, though. But I have Buffalo winning this game.
I'm picking a home team. This
time. There you go.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins are gonna pull this one out, man.
Oh, we didn't pick them last week, but you're picking them this week.
Yeah.
All right, so you picked them to lose in New England, but
Right.
picking them to beat Buffalo.
Yes, absolutely.
All
Yep.
right. Hey, listen, I hope they do. Buffalo started off 0-2 is like, what is going on here? So I think it's gonna be a 3-way tie at the end of the day for that division.
Okay.
So we're gonna see. All right, let's start with our 4:00 games. We have Soda, 0-1 Soda, shockingly, going on the road to face Arizona, who put up points on Tennessee. Is it 1-1 against Dalvin? What do you got here?
I'm taking Captain Kirk and the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow. All right, first of all, you're taking Dalvin. Because I think at this point, Kirk is no longer a captain. He's like a petty officer. I'm taking Arizona. I'm taking Arizona home. Minnesota just didn't look good last week. I'm not saying I believe in Arizona, but I just don't think they have answers to some of the questions that are going to be asked of them. So I got Arizona winning this game.
All right.
Defending Super Bowl champions are at home to Atlanta Falcons. I really do think we both got Tampa Bay on this one.
Yes.
Yeah. At home, Raymond James beating Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right. Tennessee going on the road to face Seattle. Tough game up there in the Pacific Northwest. Who you got in this one?
I don't like Tennessee's team. I don't like their defense. They got to go cross country all the way to Seattle. No, I'm taking the Seahawks.
All right, I got Seattle in this one. They're just a better team. Tennessee was wrecked last week. So I got Seattle winning that game, and I think pretty handily too. Honestly.
Okay.
So Seattle winning that.
Actually, I think it's going to be a slugfest myself.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, entertaining. It'd be as long as it's entertaining. Maybe Derrick Henry comes back to life this week. So we'll see. The 425 game. We have the LA Chargers 1-0 at home against some team of a star. So LA Chargers 425 at home against a team of a star. Who you got?
I like the Chargers this game. I think it's going to be another slugfest, though.
I don't think anybody doubts who I'm picking this game. I'm picking LA and SoFi to beat Dallas. This will be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Dak did look good. Zeke didn't show up. I think
that was by design, though.
Say again, by design?
I think that was by design. Because,
I think they wanted to get him high, but I think Zeke shows up a little bit more this week.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the Chargers defense helps them out, and I think the Chargers win this game. So,
all right.
Well, we'll go to the Monday night game, then we do the Sunday night game.
All right.
Monday night game is Green Bay at home against Detroit. I'm thinking Green Bay.
Man, Green Bay gonna kill these boys, man. Come on.
Hey, that's what should have happened last week, right?
He was embarrassed last week.
Oh, was it?
And he's going to take out all his anger on the Lions.
I think so too. It's going to be bad, especially Jared Goff. Look, even though they started coming back in that game, but that game was just, I think San Francisco falling asleep. Like they thought it was Thanksgiving, they had too much turkey or something, and they so I think Green Bay is going to destroy Detroit.
Yes.
All right, Sunday night game. In the last of week 2, we have KC traveling in their barbecue all the way on the road, coming to the ATM here in Baltimore. Are they going to come in, or are they going to make a deposit, or are they going to get a withdrawal with a loss? What you got? No, Max, I'm sorry, that's your game. I'll go first. So Baltimore 0-1, man, it was a really freaking good game. I know it took a lot out of them. You just activated, I think, Devontae Freeman off the what's that thing called? Practice squad. So you add him in there for added more depth. Even though Latavius had a pretty good game last week.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. He didn't? I thought didn't he score a touchdown or two?
Yeah, he had a touchdown, but he had like 2.8 yards a carry.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a new team. You know, the thing is, honestly, certain people look like they should belong as on the team that they play for. He fits, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Devontae is not going to fit. So I think Murray will be the guy going forward, even though the other guy looked pretty good.
Tyson Williams, I think he's the main. He's the
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, he looked really good.
Yeah, in the first half, I don't know why they went away from him in the second half, but
probably because they're trying to get Murray into the game more, and then just didn't work.
yeah.
KC come from behind victory last week at home to Cleveland. They come into Baltimore. This is going to be a close game, but I just feel like the injuries will mount up or have mounted up and will hurt Baltimore, whom I probably would have picked if they were healthy, but they're not, so I'm picking KC.
Yeah, Kansas City, this isn't going to be close, unfortunately. Ravens are too, like I said, they've been decimated. And when I literally mean they have been decimated by injuries. The offensive line is a mess. I just don't see it. I cannot fathom a way. The only way I see the Ravens winning this game is if somehow, out of some miracle, the offensive line just gets it all together. Lamar has time to throw, and they control the clock in the run game. And Kansas City's going to move the ball. If they can somehow just hold Kansas City to field goals, maybe they have a shot. But it's just too many injuries, man.
Yeah.
So
too many injuries. All right, now. So we both got KC in that one.
Yep.
All right, so the Thursday night game is. I get this bad boy up. No, that is Monday. Oh, exciting game this Thursday. Panthers at Texans. I can tell you right now, I'm not watching this game.
Woo.
Who do you have in this Thursday night?
Yeah.
Throwdown. Panthers, Texans.
I think, I'm taking the Orioles. I think the Orioles will get a win that night.
Yeah, well, it's good because I'll take the Mets to beat. I think we're playing the Marlins, and we need a win, but we've been struggling lately. Hopefully, play the Nationals. We've been able to beat the Nationals.
Oh man, no. In all seriousness, no, man. I'm taking the Panthers. Houston stinks, which goes to show you how bad Jacksonville must be for Houston to kill them.
I don't know. I'm picking. Gosh, I think it's gonna be a tie. No, I'll just pick Carolina. I have no idea or interest in this game at all.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I wish I could, but I don't.
Nah.
So, all right, so that wraps that up. These week 3 ones looking pretty good though.
No, okay.
These matchups coming up for week 3.
Okay.
Your team. Oh my God, your team. That's a win. Oh, that Monday Night Football game's good. Okay, so a lot of good stuff for next week. Oh, man, what? Oh, okay. All right. Good games. Can't wait to get to week 3.
Yep. All right, man. Well, let's handle some business real quick before we end the podcast. We got to talk about this What Ifs episode 6, and we also got to give our top 10. What did you think about What If, man? What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark, man?
He rescued him, and then, spoiler alert, Tony didn't make it through this whole episode. The zombie one was good, was really freaking good. I really enjoyed it. This was more of a psychological thriller. It was just, it took you to places that I didn't think I was going to go. Because it almost made me feel like Killmonger was like a different Killmonger. Like, oh, he's going to be okay. And no, he's Killmonger. He's still Killmonger. And it was such a good episode. Yeah. It really makes you go through like, wow, what if this did happen? What if, he's just playing both sides, setting everybody up. It was a freaking really good episode.
Yeah.
And again, it's always good to hear T'Challa's voice.
Yeah.
So
I was just about to say, I think I really enjoyed, man, the Black Panther universe in these What If episodes, man. Like, I really enjoy it. I'm realizing more and more. But that was good, man. I just like the whole connection with Killmonger and Tony Starks. And, and just how they, brought those two worlds together, man. I thought it was good, man. I am really enjoying this series. They're doing such a good job, and I think we're still getting like 6 more episodes, man. Like, I think this was the halfway point. So, yeah, we still got more stories to see. But yeah, the way he just kind of set up everybody, man. That was good.
Just to get to what he wanted to get to, and him, becoming the Black Panther, and just how he just, basically just like, this is what he wants, and he was going through no matter what and getting, man. It was, Ulysses S. Claw. It's just everybody's voice. His voice is
yeah.
This is real vibranium here. It's just, it's such a good show.
Yeah, man, it's good. It's good.
I'm glad. What if this is really this good? And it is. So I'm glad we can answer that question.
Yes. All right. Man.
So we've been promising for like 900 weeks, because we've been doing the 80s, and due to shows and different things that pop up, we haven't gotten to do it consecutively in like different weeks or weeks in a row. There's been some gaps, but we promised it. We're doing it. Our top 10 stories, because we're both 80s kids, of the 1980s. These are news stories, not, say, for instance, the 86 Mets. They don't count because, of course, they'd be number one. For me, if this was anything else had to do with sports, but they're not in here. So our top 10 1980s.
You can speak for yourself.
Well, they were kind of a non-sports story in a way as well, but they.
I have 3 sports stories in here, so
these are supposed to be news stories, not sports stories.
Yeah, but they are news stories.
Okay, let's just start. What's your number 10?
All right. Well, I have these in no particular order, really.
I had like 8 weeks to do this.
I have these in no particular order because I'm going in order from year to year. Because to me, and the reason why
you're from like 80 to 89?
I'm going from 80 to 89. And the reason why is because to me, there's only one number 1 to me.
Okay.
And and the rest of them just, they kind of all go together for me. Okay.
All right.
But to me, there's only one number 1, and I'll let you know what that is. But we're gonna start with 1981. Okay. Sandra Day O'Connor is nominated as the first female Supreme Court justice by President Reagan.
Yep. I have that. That's a little bit later on my list. My number 10 is the AIDS epidemic. It was a huge thing. The first time, of course, we're just growing up, becoming teenagers at that point.
Yeah.
In the late 80s, and that's my first time hearing about it until like this fly. Listen, I want to kill animals on live television, but I will kill this fly. Yeah, it's the AIDS epidemic. It was just when I guess famous people that you heard of, Freddie Mercury, people started, dying. I didn't know what this was. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Then you heard about this disease and whatever, but it was huge. And even, I know it happened in the 90s, but Eazy-E dying from it, and just a whole, then Magic, so getting it, and even though he's luckily still with us, but it's such a huge thing.
Yeah.
So my number 10 is the AIDS epidemic.
Okay.
What you got next?
All right. So in order to take out some of my sports stories,
no, you can use whatever.
No. I'll take out. But the 2 sports stories I have were also news stories. I'm going to keep them in. I had the Orioles. Obviously winning the World Series in 1983 is my number. That would be, number 1. But that's not really a news story, so I'll take that out. So I'm going to go back. 1980. Pac-Man was released. 1980.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. So that.
Number 9. Yeah. No. It's Pac-Man. You know how huge Pac-Man's been.
Exactly.
Atari 64, whatever it was. when they had the video game that used to go and you go and tackle somebody from the other side of the screen. That was number 9 is for me is the Iran Contra hearing. This is like the first time I got to actually see a trial on television. You know, it was weird. I was like, wasn't we? I don't even know what they were talking about, honestly. But I knew it was something big, and I just remember I think they had, after his presidency, they had Reagan up there, and he was just like, well, I don't recall. I can't even remember. And that's all I remember from the whole thing. So my number 9 is the Iran Contra.
Okay. All right. Number 8, 1983, Sally Ride becomes the first American woman in space.
Oh, good. Yeah. That's a good one. Really good one. I think, did I have that on here? I think I did. I don't know why I took it off. My number 8 is the Exxon Valdez spill. That was just a big freaking disaster. And just hearing about it, and that was news coverage constantly. And that was the first time when I really saw the environment get, you saw ducks and just things covered in oil. It was like,
yeah,
dude, I was like, oh, what the heck? Really? And it's when you just really know the impact of what we can actually do when we don't do it right.
Right.
So on the environment. So that was my first real environmental thing that I saw. So that's my number 8 is the Exxon Valdez spill.
Okay. Number 7. This is a sports story, but this was a national story. This is near and dear to my heart. This is one of the first times I've ever seen my dad cry. But looking on the TV screen and see the Mayflower trucks pull out of Baltimore and move the Colts on March 28th, 1984, 3 days before my brother was born. The Colts moved from Baltimore to Indianapolis. And I just remember the look on my dad's face as he's staring at the TV, watching this news story. It was like disbelief. Ugh.
That's crazy. And it's crazy from that point to when I came down here, when I moved here in 94. There was still no team here. And I'm going past Memorial Stadium right there on 33rd, I think it was 32nd, 33rd Street.
33rd Street, yeah.
33rd Street, this big, huge stadium is just sitting there.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because that stadium actually kind of reminds me of the Dolphin Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Because it's in the middle of a residential neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah.
Like literally in the neighborhood.
Smack dab, yep.
Yeah, it wasn't like, in the middle, like where M&T is and where Camden Yards are. It's like development, like businesses, and then it's part. It was like literally your house is here, your house is here, and here's the stadium.
It's a huge stadium. Right?
It's a huge stadium. Like right there in the parking lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was pretty. That should be on your list, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that was a big news. That was a big news story.
Yep.
Them coming in there and doing that. Kind of not on the same vein, but really just as bad. Chernobyl.
Yeah.
So Chernobyl, the nuclear power plant in Russia blowing up. You never heard anything from Russia. This was still Cold War. There are enemies, not knowing what's going on, and still not knowing, honestly, the big how much it damaged everything until years later. When I was grown, when you start reading about the effect that it had on the area and the people who lived there, all you know was just a nuclear power plant just exploding. And still, and being as a kid, you're just like, oh wow, that sounds horrible, but not really knowing the impact. So yeah, so that was still huge. So yeah, Chernobyl.
What number was that for you?
7.
Huh?
So, number 7.
Okay, well that'll be my number 6 because I have that as well.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So what's your number 6?
My number 6 is the assassination attempt of Pope John Paul II.
Damn, I didn't have that. Okay, I totally forgot about that.
I just remember because he's the Pope. He's the Pope, and somebody tried to kill him, and I'm growing up like, what is going on in this world? People trying to kill. A lot of people try to kill anybody. But just growing up like trying to kill the Pope. At that point, he was like he's old, like 60 something. So it was yeah. I just remember hearing about that on TV. Oh yeah, so Pump John Paul. I think that was in '81. It was in St. Peter's Square in Vatican City.
Oh man,
So
wow.
that was crazy,
dude. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that was my number 6.
All right, so number 5. All right, in entertainment news, okay, and this is personal, but the best movie in the history of cinema was released on July 3rd, 1985. Back to
Ooh, I thought you were gonna say '86.
the
Because it'll be like in August, and that was Transformers. So I'm not sure.
yeah, July 3rd, 1985. Back to the Future, man. Love that movie.
My number 5 is the crack epidemic.
Ah,
Crack hit the black community
yeah.
hard, and it did not spare anybody. And it was just ravaged areas, economies, lives for generations. It was such a bad, horrible, powerful thing. And I just remember growing up and just hearing about people just being addicted to it. And, famous people, young people, a lot of people. I mean, it was just people addicted to this drug, man. And it was just, just seeing what it would do and all the rap songs that would come out about it. And like, it is just, the crack epidemic was, it's my number 5.
Okay. Another sports. This is sports, but this was also huge news. Huge news. Staying with 1986, Mike Tyson becomes the youngest heavyweight world champion, man, on November 26, 1986. I mean, he was huge, man. He was huge. I forget who he I forgot who he beat.
Frank Bruno or something.
I forgot who he beat, but it was
Spinks maybe.
I forget.
All right, so next time I'll make sure I say news stories, not sports news stories. Number 4 for me is the Sandra Day O'Connor. Right, you brought that up already, so that was my number 4. So I'll go to number 3. You did your 4 was Tyson, right?
Yeah.
All right. Number 3 was the tearing down of the Berlin Wall. I mean, I just remember Gorbachev tear down that wall, and there was the East and West Germany, and just growing up, you just knew Germany was basically cut in half, and they were not a unified country, and it was a huge thing, and communism was huge back in the day, and we were brought up as communism and Russia and what they did to the world and blah blah blah. And so, yeah, I just remember that speech. I remember that whole graffiti, people trying to see families on the other side. It was crazy. I mean, knocking the wall down. So my number 3 is the Berlin Wall.
Okay. Well, that's my number 2.
Okay.
That's my number 2. I'll give you my number 3, which is the United States boycotts the 1980 Olympics in Moscow.
Yeah, that was huge because again, us and the Ruskies, as they called them back in the day, we weren't friends.
No.
So, and I think that, and also that was the Summer Olympics. I think the Winter Olympics were the same year because that's when we beat them in hockey. So I think they actually had it at the same time at one point. So I think it was the 1980 U.S. hockey team.
No, yeah, but that was.
Thanks, right? I think the Olympics were inside. I don't think it was that. Yeah, it was at Lake Placid. It was.
Yes. Yeah.
So, we did boycott the Summer Olympics.
Yes.
But the Winter Olympics were here, and they came over and we beat them. So I care. Yeah. And that was even for a gold medal, which is funny. Which nobody.
Right.
So yeah, we beat them in that. So that's definitely boycotting. And then that is more of a newsy story because it had to do with communism. Yeah. My number 2 is the assassination attempt of Ronald Reagan.
Okay, I figured that was going to be up there.
Yeah. I remember hearing this on the radio. I was in my grandmother's kitchen, and she always had the radio on, and it was like some breaking. Like I don't even know what the music was. Like today, there was John Hinckley Jr. It was March 30th, 1981. John Hinckley Jr. Just think about this. He's just walking down the street. He shot a couple people. He paralyzed one guy, Brady. Oh God, I can't think of his name. And he actually shot the president, Ronald Reagan at the time, and he had to go in for surgery. So for a short time, Herbert Walker was, who was vice president at the time, was actually an acting president. So, but that was 81, and we had presidents getting shot. That wasn't that long ago. So,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's my number two. That was I remember that vividly coming across the radio.
Yeah.
I apologize for not remembering who he paralyzed. James Brady. Yeah. So James Brady, Secret Service agent, and DC police officer, all wounded. All three survived. Brady suffered brain damage and was permanently disabled. That was. I just remember hearing it, man. I was 5. I wasn't even 5 yet. I was like 4, and just hearing it was crazy on the radio.
Yeah.
So the assassination attempt of President Reagan. So number 1. Do we both have the same number 1?
Yeah, we got. I mean, do we have to have the same number 1?
Yeah.
This is
neither one of us has brought it up yet.
Yeah, and it's I mean,
it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right. You watched it. I watched it.
Besides the recent, attacks that we've had here, but as a kid, it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right. We were kids when this happened. Terrible, man. Oh gosh.
I had January 26, 1986. January 28th, 1986. Hold on one second. Was January 28th, 1986. I was on TV. All our class came together to watch it. It was something because it was I had nightmares for years about this happening, but the Challenger exploded, and it was. They had because they and they definitely because they had I think what was her name? Krista. She was a teacher.
Yeah, I forget, but she was a teacher.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh.
It was just I'd never in my life seen anything like that. And
dude, it was terrible, man.
At that point, I was speechless. I had nightmares. I had nightmares for years, and it just. I don't know.
Yeah, it sucked. It was awful. It was
so exciting. It just took off, and you're just looking at it, and
because this was live. You gotta understand, this was live. Everybody's watching it. First teacher on board.
Yeah, they said it was happening around like 11:39 Eastern Standard Time.
Just sucked, dude. Oh gosh.
Everybody's just, and you hear people. I still hear the crowd. It's like just the shock and everything.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was terrible. Hurt. It was terrible. It was terrible, man. Just oh gosh. Yeah. So it's like when I think of the 80s, dude, this is like the number one, as a kid, like this is the number one thing I think of, dude.
Oh yeah. That's not have you been to Arlington National Cemetery?
No.
Okay. So they actually have a monument to them.
Oh, okay.
If anybody watch the show, if you've never been down to Arlington National Cemetery, John Lennon. John Lennon was assassinated.
You know what? I started to put that down.
Yeah. That's why. The challenge. I mean, if they have a monument to them, and a lot of the other fallen heroes, and the changing of the guard is a beautiful thing. So, because they guard the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier there. So if you ever have time, it's just a wonderful presentation, and just seeing all it's a huge little monument to them there in Arlington National Cemetery. So even when I saw it, I started, and this was maybe 10 years ago or so, or maybe a little bit, maybe longer, but I was an adult, and it's still just all those feelings came back up, just so yeah. I didn't want to end the show on that, but
but hey, dude, that's
yeah.
I mean,
that's how it affected us, man. That's how big it was. But next week we'll have another 80s concept. I don't even know what it is because I can't think right now. But thank you everybody for tuning in. NYWD Podcast, StreamYard, YouTube. Please subscribe, like us, send us your comments. We also are on IG, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow us at NYWD Podcast. Of course, we're on Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts. Yes, of course, John Rambo rescuing POWs from Vietnam. Yes, that guy, or Rocky turned militant, I guess. Thank you everybody for tuning in. NYWD Podcast. We will see you next week. Have a good one.
Peace out, y'all.